להבין עניין ההשתטחות על קברי tzadikim, to understand the concept of prostrating oneself on the graves of the righteous. הנה עניין ההשתטחות על הקבר, יש בזה כמה מדרגות ואופנים שונים. Now this concept of prostrating oneself on the grave, there's a number of levels and different ways. ובדרך כלל יש בזה מדרגות, and in general there's 5 levels. Ha'alef, ma shemavur b'shulchan aruch orachaim hilchos Tisha B'Av is elashono. The first is what's brought in Shulchan Aruch in the laws of Tisha B'Av, and this is what it says: U'ma shenorgim liyelech al hakvaros u'kedei la'orer ha'velus. That is the custom to go on the graves is in order to awaken mourning ulhachnia hayetzer hara lashuv b'tshuva, and to subjugate the evil inclination to return in repentance. Vuhu al derech Mamar Azal. And this, like our sages said, V'im lav yaskir lo yom hamisa. And if other things don't work to subjugate the Yetzer Hara, remind it of the day of death. Shali dezen nichna hayetzer hara, that through this the bad inclination is subjugated. V'kamosh shekasuv tov leches al beis evel meleches al beis hamishta mishum v'acha yitin elibo. And like it's written, it's better to go to the house of mourning than go to the house of a feast, because the living will place it unto their hearts. So with this a person, that is because a person can subjugate their heart. V'abez, and the second idea, who gamkein is Shulchan Aruch Hilchos Rosh Hashanah, is also mentioned in Shulchan Aruch, the laws of Rosh Hashanah, nohagim li'elech al hakvaros laharbos sham b'tachanunim chulu, that the custom is to go on the graves and to say a lot of supplications and so forth. V'sham atam mishum the beis hakvaros hu makom menuchos hatzadikim. But there the reason is that the graveyard is the place where the righteous rest, mintoch kachu makom kadosh v'tahor, and because the righteous are there, so it's a holy and pure place. V'atfila miskabelas sham biyoser v'chulu, and the prayer is accepted there more, and so forth. V'yivakesh me'Hashem yizbarech she'yitein elav rachamim b'zchus hatzadikim shochni afar, and you request from Hashem yizbarech that you should give you mercy in the merit of the righteous who dwell in the dust. Shochni afar v'yesh b'zeh beis taimim. And there's 2 reasons for this. Ha'alef shamakom kadosh v'tahor. The first is that the place is holy and pure. V'zegorim shemekablim tfilaso, and this causes your prayer to be accepted. Habez shebevad yispalo sham b'kavana ritzuya b'yoser machmas yisorus halev b'tshuva kanal. And the second is that certainly you'll pray there with a proper intent, much more so because of the awakening of your heart to prayer, like we said. Because the living will place it onto their heart, like he brought the first reason from Hilchos Tisha B'Av. And this causes that your prayer should be accepted and desired. And the third idea, and is this idea that you go to the place of the resting of your fathers or your lone son and so forth, or Kedom and the like, that this awakens crying and eulogy, and causes an opening of the heart completely, just like your dad is in front of you, actually, shenishbar levavu be'emes mitzad agmas nefesh, that your heart is truly broken because it truly troubles you. Your soul shenagad toch nekudus levavu, that it touches to the point inside your heart, livchos b'mar nafsho, to cry in the bitterness of your soul. Kamosh amar ri Rabbi Yochanan den Garma Dasira Bir, that this is the bone of my 10th son, Shayanose Etzlo Ha'etzem Shum Agmas Nefesh, that he would carry around this bone because it would cause him because of his troubled soul, Shlo Yishkach al Beno, not to forget his son Shemeis that died, and because of this his heart is always broken. And like Yaakov Avinu, she's Abel al Beno Yamim Rabim, that mourned his son many days. For Yosef Tzadik, Shayatamin Boche B'mar Nafsho al Histalkus Beno, that he was crying constantly in the bitterness of his soul because of his son who went away. And such lo nishkach klal me'ito ki yadua, because he wasn't forgotten from him at all, as is known, since he wasn't actually dead. And there's the krisis bris that the mace is nishkach. Kumokin balichaso el hakever afal pi shenishkach me'ito zman rav. So too, similarly, when a person actually goes to the kever, even though it's forgotten from them for a long time, afal pi chen choziv niskar, when they go to the kever, it's awakened again, and they remember to the point where a person can cry in the bitterness of their soul in a great way, and this causes an opening of the heart completely, that a person can cry for their sins truly with a broken and contrite heart, and with great tears. And a person can come through this to complete tshuva, as is known, because what stops tshuva is the coarseness and the haughtiness of the heart. But if the heart is truly broken, from whatever way that it gets broken, then right away the person can come to complete tshuva, because the heart is no longer puffing itself up to stop it. And this is the idea of the difficulties that come upon a person, that these difficulties are called pains of love, even if it's in your children, your health, or your sustenance, your parnasa shemevachim la'adam, that pain a person in order to make a person do tshuva completely from the depth of oneself and one's heart, and in the deepest way. And the truth, and the proof is from Ri Shamar Dein Garma Desira Bir, that he said, Gemara Brachos, that this is the bone of my 10th son, that he certainly, by him, this was not to punish him, chas v'shalom, but rather it was from Hashem, pains of love. The fourth level is this, that we go on the graves of the righteous, that you knew them and recognized them when they were alive, as I then because of the strength of your emunah, that you believed in him, Bodo Bechaim Chayuso, when he was still alive, Shu Ish Eloki Kadosh Yomarlo, that he was a holy man, and you called him holy, and when you went into him to see him when he was alive, you were nullified in your existence in front of him, when you entered his palace of honor, because of the greatness of the embarrassment and lowliness, that you were embarrassed and subjugated in front of the tzaddik, to the point where you became or you become like a silent stone, and can't speak. That's the true state of nullification. Like we say before Shemona Esrei, Hashem, you should open my mouth. That you're in a state, if you're in a state of nullification, you can't speak and you need help to speak. And so too, when you go to the place of the rest of his holy resting place, you're nullified there in a greater way. Because the righteous are greater in their death more than their life. So you have an even greater nullification. And because of the strength of your belief, of your great belief that you believe in the holiness of his holy soul and his pure soul, that went already above to its place all the way up high, and elevation after elevation after elevation, Hasharos hanefesh. So it could be the dwelling of the soul, or it could be the soul that remains. Hasharos hanefesh and isheres al haguf bekever, and the dwelling of the soul, or the remaining of the soul that remains upon the body in the grave, like it says that in Eov, that the soul mourns for him, mourns for the body. That goes in with the body to the grave, like it's explained in Likutei Torah Mastama from the Arizal. And also the encompassing lights of the soul are connected with the soul. So you have the nefesh of the nikvar of the tzaddik that's in the kever. You also have the makifim of the nefesh of the tzaddik that are connected to that nefesh, to the lower levels of the nefesh of the tzaddik. That's why shilazem mitzvah la'asos tzion ala kever. That's why it is a mitzvah to make a sign above the grave, shukise lemakif kiyadua, which is a throne, a seat to that makif of the nefesh, above the body, kidua mavor b'Likutei Torah, as is brought in Likutei Torah. And even the tzion is also called the nefesh. So because there's this concept of the nefesh that there's. So here we're saying there's an or pnimi, so to speak, that's left over, and also an or makif that's left over. Now certainly when you come to the place of the holy resting place of the tzaddik, of the muspanav kadosh v'atahor, and you picture in front of yourself his holy and pure countenance, so will fall upon a person fear and trembling more than even when they were alive, because then they were in the boundary of a physical body, and now the soul of the tzaddik is in its spiritual state as it is completely. And this through this a person can also come to a state of complete nullification and the higher level of fear. And the concept of this higher fear is mentioned in the Sidurim Dach, in the Mamar before the Tikkun Chatzos, that the higher fear is this inner fear, and it's this concept of a fear of embarrassment, and like a person who's embarrassed of a great person and a tzaddik, because of how incomparably lowly they are in comparison to the tzaddik whom is battle b'mitzius lagamrei. The person gets completely nullified in their existence, ad shekolo nechshav, who to the point where they are as considered as not. And similarly is this idea of higher fear, that a person's embarrassed from his greatness, that we're not talking now about fear of Hashem, that Hashem's greatness, there's no end, that the infinite light is above, goes above infinitely, and below without end. That about this it says, if there's no chachma, there's no fear. That the level of chachma, this is supernal wisdom, which is this strength of what, which is the concept of nullification, causes this higher level of fear, like it's brought there at length in the Hara Tikun Chatzos. That you have the lower Yira is Malchus, and then you have two levels of Ava, Zon, and Bina, and then the highest level is fear, corresponding with Chachma. והנה על דרך זה יובן גם כן בהליכתו על קבר הצדיק והקדוש. So too, similarly, we're talking about going on the grave of the tzaddik, the holy tzaddik, Yochalavoli, the Busha Gedola, person can come to a state of great embarrassment, to bittul, the Metzius Mamash, and true nullification completely, that a person will get embarrassed very much so on everything they did and thought, asher asav v'chashav, everything ad hayom, that they did and thought until today, ki gluim hema, because they revealed to the tzaddik. Ki tzaddik afilu bihiyosu b'chaim noda lo machshavos adam v'tachbulosav ki yedua, because in front of the righteous person, even when they were alive, it was known to him all the thoughts and plottings of a person, as is known. And how much more so to the soul of the tzaddik after he passes, because he's more in a spiritual state. And this state of nullification and embarrassment is not just in front of the tzaddik, but also the Orein Sof, that's enlivening the soul of the tzaddik, because the soul of the tzaddik is this portion of divinity above, and it's completely nullified to the infinite light. May be blessed. Like it's explained in another place. And through this you can come to awaken great mercies on the divine spark that's in your soul, because of your state of lowliness. And there's the concept of the higher tshuva, as it has been explained, because the state of nullification in front of the Torah scholar is truly the state of nullification to Hashem. And like the statement, is it possible to cleave to the Shechina? But it means anybody who cleaves to the Torah scholars, like it's brought in Tanya Kadisha. Like it's brought in Gemara concerning the kings of Israel, who are those who are nullified to the Nevi'im and the Chachamim. And this is this higher tshuva that you can't compare to the tshuva that he mentions in Oz Gimel. I'm not sure what Oz Gimel is. And further, that through the strength of connection of belief in the soul of the tzaddik from the inner point of your heart, and through this strength of your imagination, where you picture his image, spiritually, and through one's great nullification, so that enables the person to cleave, to attach to some detail of the soul of the tzaddik that's resting there. And this is similar to the concept of cleaving, attaching this spirit to spirit that's mentioned by tzaddikim. And that will be explained in the fifth level, because we're still explaining the fourth level. Maybe Os Gimel above, maybe it's referring to the fourth. I'm sorry, the third level of Hishtadchus that he mentioned. That we're on the fourth level now, talking about the skashus to the tzaddik. Right, the third level was the avelus and tshuva that a person is able to do when one visits the kever of a relative, of close family member. So, and through this, it's possible, by connecting to the tzaddik and cleaving to the tzaddik, it's possible that your prayer that you pray there will be able to go up above, ba'aliyos nefesh tzaddik, together with the elevation of the soul of the tzaddik, and your prayer can cause fruit, can bear fruit above and below. And this is the belief in the tzaddikim, that people travel to their graves, even though you don't gain anything or grasp anything from the trip yourself necessarily. Well, like will be explained